Hi, I hope that I am live right now. Let me take a look. Yes, I sure am. So, let me. I had a different camera setup going on. Let me also pull up this one. Okay. I got my phone here. So, hello, everybody. Okay. I'm trying to. I actually went live like a minute earlier than maybe I should have because I'm not quite all set up yet, but I'm set up enough. I had my tripod here. I was going to do a different camera setup, but I ended up wanting to stream through my iMac anyway. So we got that going on. Okay, so I saw that there was another question, but it was held for a review. Yes, Julia, I do have it on subscriber only chat right now. And I'm also not streaming on I'm not streaming on Twitch today. Because I just found that throughout streaming on Twitch there were a lot of trolls. There were also some really great people in chat as well, but I found that it made it harder for people who are in chat to actually chat with each other. So that's why I thought, you know what, let's do subscriber only. It's like being subscribed for 5 minutes, but it's just to weed out any potential trolls. So that is why I have that on. Okay, cool. So let me see this. Okay, I don't need this. Because I'm streaming on YouTube only right now, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Okay. Having a lot of things going on right now. So I have a lot of things to talk about. So I think I'm just gonna dive right in. I think I wrote down in my description that I'm gonna be using the Good Karma Tarot, and I used it last week as well because we're gonna talk about a lot of really serious topics, and I feel like the Good Karma Tarot is really good at handling that and making it a little bit more bearable. So let me also take a look at, because I have my stream chat on screen as well. It will fade out every 90-ish seconds. So I'm gonna do it a bit this way. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So okay, I'm fine. Luckily, I'm using timestamps, so you can just skip all this stuff that I went through for the first few minutes of the stream. How is the time? Okay. It is 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'm gonna talk about, or we're gonna first do a reading about the dinner that was at Mar-a-Lago, which is Trump's home in Florida. And he brought over, or he invited Kanye West, which that is not even the messiest thing that happened with Kanye this week. And we're also going to talk about the messiest thing with Kanye this week. Kanye brought Nick Fuentes, I think it's how it's pronounced, who is an out and proud Nazi. There's no other way around it. That's what he is. And he brought Milo, and I'm not sure who is Milo, like with Kanye, who Kanye brought. I have heard, oh wow, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. Milo Yiannopoulos. Oh, is this a guy? Is it that guy who used to be gay, but then he went through to conversion camps and now he's straight and he's teaching people how to be straight. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that is him. He's British. He's widely known as a supervillain in the digital world, constantly churning out misogynistic, bigoted, and racist comments. Yeah, so that is Milo. I'm pretty sure there are some more things that he is accused of. And they were Kanye's guests to Trump for dinner. And there was this whole thing about these people being in Trump's house and Trump sort of aligning himself with those kinds of people, which for anybody on the left is not a surprise, but it's still gross, you know. And Trump alleged, or he says that he did not know who Nick and Milo were, but that Kanye just brought them along and that Trump didn't know anything. So what I want to know is, what did Trump really know about Nick and Milo when Kanye brought them to dinner? So it's like, first of all, I don't know. I would not be surprised if Kanye brought them without Trump's knowledge, like that he was bringing them. But when they arrived, like, did Trump really not know who they were? Because especially Nick Fuentes is very well known in that sphere, I believe. So what did Trump really know about Nick and Milo when Kanye brought them to dinner? Huh. So I have the Nine of Swords, the Hermit, and the Knight of Coins. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hermit card shows here that Trump really isn't that knowledgeable about what is going on, that he really sort of secludes himself from like outside sources so that he's like sort of not bothered, and he can also always like say that he didn't know, like exactly what happened here, that Nick Fuentes was at his house and that he can allege that he didn't know who they were. So he didn't know who they were, so he it's not his fault. So that's kind of what seems to be his thing here. I do have the Nine of Swords, so it's about being worried. I do think that he knew the risks. He knew the risks when it came to inviting Kanye and Kanye having people with him, Kanye bringing people. He knew the risks. He was definitely worried on some level. That's interesting. We also have the Knight of Coins here. He just sort of didn't care. I think he thought that his reputation wouldn't get hit by it too much if he was just able to play pretend. So I definitely feel like he knew that there was a risk. I don't think he knew exactly who Nick Fuentes was and the Milo guy, but I definitely think that Trump knew that there was a risk of Kanye bringing these type of people to his house, but because he was like, well, I don't know, I don't keep up with that, so I don't know. That is what I think happened here. So no, I don't think that he knew exactly who they were, but I think he sort of was able to guess what type of people they were. So that is what I think of this. I also put on fake nails, by the way. I like them. They are these by Impress Color. These are the ones in 11 Platonic Pink. So I like them. I actually wanted to get my nails done over the weekend, but I wasn't able to get a meeting or to schedule an appointment. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna do press-on nails, and I actually really like them. I like the length too, not too long, because I cannot handle long nails. Okay, ooh, I gotta sneeze. My mic should have been off then. Okay. So we're at 10 minutes in, and I also want to know that the next thing that we're going to talk about is not only was Kanye at this like messy dinner, I guess, over at Mar-a-Lago, but he also went on Alex Jones's show. And if you don't know who Alex Jones is, good for you. Good for you. He is the host on Infowars, and he was recently in a lawsuit which he lost about the fact that Alex Jones denied Sandy Hook, the Sandy Hook shooting. I don't know all the details. I believe Sandy Hook was a primary school or a church. I think it was a primary school. And Alex Jones said that it didn't happen, and he has all this proof for it. But there's also proof enough that it did happen. And he lost this lawsuit that people had against him, I think. And that's like fresh. That's like really fresh. It's like last couple of months that happened. And he invited Kanye West over on Infowars, and it was like Alex Jones in the middle, and then Kanye and Nick on either sides of him, Nick Fuentes. Kanye had this, like, if you see the cloaked figure in the thumbnail of this live stream, that's Kanye West. He had this whole mask on, like zipped up all the way to the top of his head. And he was on there, on the show, saying like more than anti-Semitic stuff, like stuff I do not want to repeat because I do not want to bring that energy in this house. But he made a lot of bluntly anti-Semitic statements on the show. And I want to know, what are the repercussions for Kanye here? What consequences will he face? Because there's no way that he's not going to face any consequences. What are the repercussions for Kanye here? I have the Three of Wands. Oh no. I have the Ace of Cups. I have the Hanged Man and the Six of Wands. This is insane. Like, I would hope to see, like, I don't know, I want to see a Ten of Swords. I want to see a Tower card. That's what I want to see here. But what I'm getting instead, I'm getting the Three of Wands about exploration. I think he's gonna try to do more of this. He's gotten a taste of what this particular, like, he's been famous for forever, right? So he knows fame, but this feels different, and this hits different than his music career did. So I feel like he's gonna explore this more. He's gonna explore the boundaries even more, and he's gonna be so fueled by all these other Nazis around him. He's gonna be so fueled within his hate, within his exploration. And then I also have the Hanged Man and the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is about pride, about your ego, and he definitely is like has like some narcissistic tendencies, right? I'm not gonna diagnose anybody, but that's very clear. And the Hanged Woman is, to me, about acceptance, about taking some time off, like a break, waiting till circumstances. So like a calm period. So we're almost, the first thing that came to mind was him actually going to a mental hospital and getting treatment. But we also have the Six of Wands, so there's something to do with his ego. It's almost as if his ego is gonna create such a bigger storm than maybe we've already seen, that this is definitely not the last of it. He's gonna keep pushing boundaries, but then ultimately there's gonna be a stop. Like, things are gonna change around him. Something like big is gonna happen, and then it's gonna be like almost flatlined. That is the energy of the Hanged Woman. That's like the calm after the storm. So right now we're leading up to the storm, then we're gonna get the storm, and I think then we're gonna get the calm after the storm, where he is gonna face some repercussions. But I don't know, what are these repercussions? What are these repercussions? We have the Queen of Wands, confidence. What? Two of Cups, connections. This almost feels temperance, tempering your thoughts. So it almost looks as if someone is like, is someone gonna come in his life like a Queen of Wands type of person, like confident and warm and more liked, as if there's somebody like that coming in that has a previous connection with Kanye West. On one level, I sort of want to say that it might be Kim Kardashian. I don't know. But someone who has a connection to Kanye West, who's gonna sort of help him either get treatment, or this is like balancing things out, tempering thoughts. And in this case, his anti-Semitic hateful thoughts definitely need to be tempered, need to be brought down. And I feel like there's gonna be someone who, I feel like it's someone who he already knows. It might be someone new, but I think it's gonna be someone that he already knows, who's gonna help him get treatment. So that is what I'm seeing for Kanye West. That's interesting. So now we have 16 minutes 20, 16:20. I live in the Netherlands, and we have a far-right political party, FVD. So it's like Forum for Democracy, so we'll be calling it Forum. And what has been happening? So I wrote down a little, for myself, I wrote down a little summary. So we have this far-right politician, Thierry Baudet. He launched a Forum app, where which is the first step towards Forumland, which is his idea where he creates a parallel society for his party members. Politicians from that party talked at their recent convention about the government being traitors and the dangers of LGBT education. And another politician from his party had previously talked about wanting to see a resistance, which is very dangerous because a similar thing happened in the US, which resulted in January 6th. So the idea around Forumland is that he wants Forum schools, different Forum media to consume. He started with the Forum app, where you can find jobs, hire people that are basically as far right as you are, among other things. So the first thing that I want to know is, are they going to be successful? Will they be successful in creating a resistance, which is kind of scary? Yeah, Tiffany, I also really hope that that he gets help. Will they be successful? We have the Lovers, commitment, Seven of Cups, delusions. That sounds about right. So what I have here is that they seem like, literally here we have commitment and delusion. So it's almost like being committed to your delusions, and the more they get people in their voters, the more they get their voters committed to this delusion that they are spewing, the bigger the chance is that it's gonna happen. But will it happen? And what will it look like? The Devil chaining themselves up, maybe? Seven of Wands, Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is also like my children card. We have Seven of Wands, boundaries, and we have the Devil. So will they be successful? How will this resistance look? What will it look like? How will it turn out? So the Devil card is also about distractions. So maybe they're gonna create some sort of a distraction around something, while they also, this is like holding your ground, so they're definitely not going anywhere. I'm not really getting anything, because I feel like the way that things are right now, it's not really set in stone yet, which is a good thing, because it all depends on how committed they are to their delusions, and how these politicians, if they can create these illusions to have them even bigger, which is really scary. And only then will they be able to have them sort of fight. And and this is like being on top of these people, and these are like the rational people, like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And they're like, yeah, but I'm fueled by all these delusions, so I know that what I'm doing is right. It's like it's really scary shit, and it really reminds me of the energy of January 6th. So that's hard. Yeah. And with the Six of Cups, it also looks like this is like living in the past, the Six of Cups. So it's almost like repeating something that has already happened in the past, which January 6th already happened in the past. I don't know. I feel like it's not set in stone just yet. But it's also not looking super promising. So that's great. Okay. We are at 2040 right now. 2040. And I also want to know what influence Forumland will have countrywide. What influence will Forumland have countrywide? Again, Seven of Wands. They feel like they are so in the right. They feel like they are so just in what they're doing. They are gonna create such a divide. Everything is already so polarizing. This is chatty about the politician head making a lot of money. Also, something funny already happened with this app because there was a leak, and there was a lot of data leaked of all their current and previous members. So there's that. Nobody saw that coming. So yeah, they're gonna... We have the Hermit card. So it's like in solitude, living in solitude, closing yourself off. And I feel like that is what could potentially happen with this Forum app, that the people who are using that app and choose to only be in contact with and with those far right people, but also it's an app that can be used to find jobs, to hire people, to get coupons to stores of these people that are also members of this political party. It's gonna be like super closed off and like really living in your own bubble, feeling like you are the underdog who is trying to do the right thing, but it's not. It's like delusions, really. It's really delusions. So I like popping in some Dutch politics as well. So next we're gonna do 2250. And the Respect for Marriage Act was passed through the Senate, but will Republicans sit still after this? We already know that they're not. They are putting together some sort of a panel to assess where they went wrong with the midterms. But the Respect for Marriage Act was passed through the Senate. Will Republicans sit still after this, and what is next? So when Roe v. Wade was overturned, I also did... it's a very useful app because it will show the vast majority of companies who not to hire. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that it's going to be used the other way around. But because there was a data leak, I think it's very ironic with the data leak happening, knowing who are as hateful that you indeed would not want to hire. But yeah. What was I saying? Oh, right. When Roe v. Wade was overturned, I did a reading on it, and I read that it was very likely that this was not the end. That there was very likely that there were more laws that they wanted to overturn, and that gay marriage was one of those things. And the Respect for Marriage Act included like gay marriage as well as interracial marriage. So those were put together in this act. And a lot of people who voted against it said that they were just against gay marriage, but because interracial marriage was included in it, they still just thought that they had to vote against it, which is telling. We know why. We know why. Okay, so what is next? Six of Coins. Sort of give and take, compromise. We have the King of Coins, money, long-term success. Queen of Swords, being very, very blunt. They already... I feel like this is not necessarily a compromise, but it's like a give and take. Okay, they got Roe v. Wade, and now we got the Respect for Marriage Act, and they feel like there's something up, something next that they could, that fits in their long-term plan, that fits in their long-term goal. There's definitely something next that is going to happen. And I feel like we're gonna find out soon. The Queen of Swords is about honesty, about being blunt. These people are definitely blunt. These people are not shy about what they stand for, about their ideals, which we call hate, which we call bigotry. But they are committed. The Lover's card again. They are committed to, I don't know, turning society back in time like 100 years. That is what I got. Okay, next we are at 26 minutes in, and we're gonna talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been banning anti-fascist pages. How will Elon Musk and his shit show of a Twitter influence politics in the US and elsewhere? I need to take a sip of tea for this. Okay. How will Elon Musk and his shit show of a Twitter influence politics in the US? My god, I keep getting the Hermit card today. It's like, and again, the King of Coins. It's almost as if it's polarizing again. It's putting yourself, or how should I say, like closing yourself off again from reality, because you're gonna be able to surround yourself with all these hateful people on Twitter now. So it's like being in your own bubble again, creating that own bubble of people who also believe in the same hate as you do. Six of Wands, pride, ego. It's gonna be so ego-filling for some politicians as well, I assume. Here we have Judgment, and what this really feels like is people, like in this case, we see one person sort of trumping against this person, and I guess it could mean like the traditional judgment meaning here, where it's like a revelation, and I guess it could be politicians having having a certain revelation. But what does that have to do with Twitter? I want to know, like, how it's going to influence politics in the US. The Five of Wands, creating conflict. Of course it is. Justice. Interesting. Because justice is about consequences. But I want to know, how are we going to see those consequences? The Justice card is about consequences for your actions, or in this case, consequences for what you tweet. So is this going to be like certain politicians finally getting consequences for the hateful bullshit that they tweet, or not? Eight of Wands, momentum. I definitely feel like there are some hate that, and Three of Cups, finding community. Hate is going to be able to spread so much faster now on Twitter because of the lack of moderation and the lack of guidelines right now that are being upheld, meaning that it's only going to spread like wildfire, and people are going to be able to create communities. And again, I read on this before when it came to Twitter, but we really need, with leftists, we need our own social media. We need our own social media platform. So if there are some, there are people who are tech savvy enough to do that, that's awesome. I actually want to learn programming myself. I'm gonna be taught a little bit of programming by my, I guess he's like my brother-in-law. He's the husband of my boyfriend's sister. And I am thinking of a career change myself. So maybe programming is the right way to go, and maybe I should make my own. Social media platform. So Yeah. Okay, next we're gonna talk. About another U.S. topic. 30 minutes in. I think we're 30 minutes in. Yeah. What happened is there is this. I have to pull it up because it's about Berlin, and someone in the Discord server. Um, someone in the Discord server asked to have this as a subject for the stream. So, a citizens' initiative calling for a ban on private car use in central Berlin would create the largest car free urban area in the world. The campaign group Berlin Autofrei has taken the first step in a process known as the People's Referendum, submitting a petition with more than 50,000 signatures calling for a ban covering the 88 square kilometers, which is 34 square miles area circling the S-Bahn ring, the train line, which is an area roughly equal in size to other boroughs in London, zones 1 and 2. And people who depend on their cars for their trade or because they have impaired mobility, they would be exempt, as would be emergency services. And everybody else would be permitted up to 12 rented car journeys a year in case they need to move house, for example. So what it talked about was, let's see, what do we talk about when it came to this? Let's see, the current status is that there are currently illegal arguments because the Berlin Senate says that creating such a big car-free zone would restrict the basic freedoms of people who want to drive cars. Only 14% of journeys within the proposed zone are made by cars, yet cars are allocated 60% of public space. The initiative's representatives argue that the German constitution does not contain any freedoms or rights to individuals to drive a car. So if the freedom to drive a car is a basic human right protected by the constitution, that's not happening. So this is super interesting to me. That they want to have Berlin like basically car free, or the center of Berlin car free. But I want to know, is Berlin Autofrei, which is the initiative, will they be successful in creating the largest car-free urban area in the world? Will they be successful in their initiative? I have the sun, which is positivity. Interesting. I have the hanged man, calm after the storm. So I almost feel like, I don't necessarily think something like this is going to go quietly. With the Wheel of Fortune, timing of things are going to turn out just right. I feel like there's a timing of things where maybe previously things had really been stirred up and really been talked about when it comes to this subject and this initiative. But maybe when there is a slow period, that is when the timing seems right, and when nobody is in their way, they're going to be able to do it. But the timing has to be just right. Timing has to be just right. We have the King of Wands. This is a leader, a really like a warm and inspiring leader. Almost as if Berlin is going to be able to do this, maybe other cities will follow suit. That's really interesting that it's like this, it shows that it's possible. Like if it's possible in Berlin, it's going to be possible in other cities as well to be car free, especially because it's good for the environment to have less cars riding around, especially if public transport is done really well. Interesting. So, we are now at 34:10. And the World Cup is hosted in Qatar, and I want to know how this will influence politics over there, because there's such a spotlight on Qatar right now, even though I feel like people don't care. And I hate this because I care. And I am purposely not watching the World Cup. I'm purposely not watching any of the games because I don't want to give FIFA, as well as our local media, news outlet who platforms all these games, I don't want them. I don't know. I don't want them to get my view. I don't think they care very much, but it just I don't want to contribute to that because Qatar really doesn't care about its people. It really doesn't care about human rights, and a lot of lives have already been lost building the stadium. Then they make a point of like giving yellow cards to people who wear the One Love support arm thing, which what the hell? And FIFA is okay with that. So that just makes me really mad. But there's a really big spotlight on Qatar, and I just want to know how this is going to influence politics over there. We have the Two of Wands, we have the Seven of Cups. I'm pretty sure I pulled the Seven of Cups when I previously read on Qatar as well. They're gonna create a distraction of some sort. They're gonna, or was that Iran? I don't remember. I think it was Qatar, where I pulled the Seven of Cups, where they're gonna create some sort of a distraction. It's like, I know you guys want to talk about this going on in our country, but we're going to give you this instead. And like everybody is distracted now that the games have actually begun, and like not a lot of people are talking about it anymore. Like people talked about it previously, but now that the World Championship has actually begun, people are distracted by the games and they're not talking about it anymore. I also have the Two of Wands, which is about planning, and Nine of Wands, which is about sort of trying to see this through. I feel like they previously have planned. Like Qatar is very well aware, I think, of its reputation in the West, and it's very aware of like how it's holding on to these anti-LGBT, anti-human things, and that the West doesn't like that. So I feel like they have previously put plans into place to sort of again distract from that. And they sort of are like, well, as long as we can hold this out until the World Cup is over, then we can just go back to everything that we did previously, and nobody's gonna give a shit. And I'm afraid that it's gonna work. So that is how it's gonna influence the politics over there. It's gonna create a distraction, and then when the World Cup is over, it's gonna go right back to normal. It's gonna go right back to normal. How will this influence politics in the West, though? The World Cup in Qatar, how it's gonna influence politics in the West. The Devil, again, distraction. King of Swords, authority person. The Moon, keeping it quiet. Like this is like secrets. What is hidden in the shadows. I don't really know what this means, but what I'm feeling is that they're gonna try to have a difference between the anti-LGBT hate and anti-human, like all shit in Qatar. They're gonna pretend that it's different from what they're trying to do in the West. The right-wing parties in the West, they're gonna pretend that it's different, even though it's not. Like you're anti-LGBT, you're anti-LGBT. It doesn't matter if you just try to like the difference here is that in the West they're trying to create laws to prevent LGBT people from marrying each other if they're gay. And if and in Qatar, if you're LGBT, you're gonna get shot on the street. Like that's the difference. And they're gonna pretend like it doesn't matter. It's both horrible, and in both countries, in both places, LGBT people should just have the right to exist and to have human rights. Of course, people watching this know that, but yeah. Okay, we are at 39.50. In Germany, a family with over-the-top Christmas decoration lights got a threatening letter to take down their decorations. Yeah, that's wild. They have like over-the-top decorations, which is not good for the environment. Let me see. Da, 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 da. What did it say? It says that the letter writer explains that his actions explains his actions by saying that the decoration is light pollution, which damages nature. Plus, it's a waste of energy in times where our energy supply is short. So it's like an environmentalist gone extreme, and saying that if they don't put it down, then they're gonna destroy all the decorations. So. And the question is, what actions are the threatening letter writers likely going to take? So they like threaten this family, saying that they have to pull down all of their decorations because of the light pollution, bad for the environment, waste of energy. But what actions are the threatening letter writers actually likely going to take? The Queen of Wands, being confident. Eight of Cups, walking away. The Eight of Cups is walking away from something that you've invested in. So it's almost like they now know that if they're going to do this, they're going to be put on the spot. So I feel like they are going to take the higher ground. That is definitely what I do believe. But there's going to be another way that they're going to fight. They definitely are going to hold their ground. They know that what they're doing is important. I don't know if they necessarily realized that the way that they went about it was really dumb and shitty. I feel like they're gonna tone it down a bit. They're gonna keep holding their ground, but they're gonna tone it down a bit, and they're gonna find another way to let their voices be heard. I don't think, and at least from these cards, I can't really say that they're can't really say that they're gonna destroy the Christmas lights, because now they know that because it's brought to the news, there's probably people taking watch, making sure that nobody's getting near these decorations. I have also have the Magician, so it's inspired action. They're not going to sit still. They're not going to do nothing. But I think they're going to create a different plan. I think they're going to do something different. So now we have 4240. And the next question, it's about the same topic. What might be a better way to communicate their concerns about the environment rather than resorting to anonymous threats? So how can they help? How can they help? Three of Wands, exploration, showing sort of King of Cups, showing how it's done. Showing how it's done. Five of Swords is definitely something else that's petty. Definitely something else that's really petty. That's also gonna sting. They're definitely gonna... I feel like on one hand, it's like leading by example. Here with the Three of Wands is what I'm getting. And the King of Cups. So it's almost like the people who are on one hand sort of leading by example, they're like also putting in something sneaky or something. I don't know. It's interesting. I almost don't want to pull more cards because I don't sort of want to spoil it, because I do believe in the work of these environmentalists. I just don't think that sending an anonymous threatening letter is necessarily the best part, to the right way to go about it. Yeah, I got the Moon. I feel like I'm not supposed to know exactly what's going on, which I'm okay with, not being allowed to know everything. So that is actually all the topics that I have for today. So definitely let me know if there's something else that you want me to talk about. And let me know in chat. I'm gonna drink the last of my tea. So, ooh, Okay, that was nice. So yeah, let me know if you have any more topic requests, because I've done all the topics. I've talked about all the topics that I wanted to talk about. Oh, by the way, wait. I put on my Christmas tree. My boyfriend didn't want to decorate it, so I decorated myself, and I'm really bad at decorating a tree. So I feel like, especially from this angle, it looks really crooked. I feel like I need another one of those silver things, because there's none on the bottom here. And you can tell that it's really crooked, or you can almost not see it here. So I feel like I need to redo it now. And this part here looks also very messy. So yeah. But I did it myself. And I've also been feeling really sick this week. This is the first day that I'm feeling a little bit better, but I've been feeling really shitty. So I actually didn't go to work 2 days out of my 3 work days this week because I was feeling so sick. So yeah. If there are no more questions regarding politics or world news, then I am going to call it a day today. I enjoyed this streaming experience with I'm streaming through OBS right now, and usually I use Melon, which made it so that I could stream both to YouTube and Twitch. But I think I'm not gonna stream to Twitch anymore, just because I like YouTube is like my platform. I love YouTube. So I feel like, and also this is free. I can stream through OBS to YouTube. I can stream for free, and Melon costs $15 every month. So yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. All the timestamps will have been updated by the time you watch the replay. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll tune in next.